Hello again. This is Treasure Chest. I'm Adam. We're returning once again to Koudelka. Now, before we get going, I'd just like to say thanks for everyone who's watching. Whether it's this or Unmaddens or jumping into Outlaw Volleyball, whatever. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, give a like, subscribe. It really does help out. My biggest mission for the channel was to bring attention to things that don't get a whole lot of attention. I could just as easily make videos about Minecraft or Fortnite or Call of Duty or any of the extremely popular stuff, but I've always liked the niche stuff, the stuff that doesn't get a whole lot of attention. And I like it when people check out what I have to offer. Well, let's just jump back in. Okay, we're in a brand new wing of the house. And looking at that doorway, this is looking a bit more like a fun house. Okay. Why isn't it letting me get up there to that door? I guess it needs to be open before they'll let me do that. Okay. Okay, it's looking like I'm at the point where I can't sleepwalk through the battles anymore. But maybe I can, considering Koudelka's magic ability is so high at this point. Okay. Something. You found a gramophone, but it can't be played as there's no disc inside. Research notes. September 10th, 1895. Rain. With the monastery renovation completed, I finally moved in with Ogden and Bessie. It's been a long road since I first procured the emigre file. Even after referencing literature of all ages, the rendering of the text still remains a difficult task. Though it has been 4 years since I first laid eyes on it, never once has its enigma left the recesses of my mind. Contained in it are countless descriptions of the source of the energy that is the secret to life's existence. The Druid's cryptic experiment taken from the ancient Celts and recorded by Alexander the Great hundreds of years before Christ. Branded a forbidden enterprise, it was kept hidden by the Vatican's cardinals in the depths of the Pope's quarters for a very long time, and now I have it in my hands. I have reached Wales, the land referred to in the text. I will fulfill my wife Elaine's resurrection at this monastery built by St. Daniel Scotus. Of course, I am aware that my act could prove insolent in the eyes of the Lord, and however people may censure my actions, the love I have for my wife will never cease. I ask of you, Lord, to turn your eyes away for a short while. November 16th, 1895. Rain. The more I learn about this monastery, the more eerie the structure appears to me. Ogden mentioned that the hospice had been full of corpses at one time a few hundred years ago, and I had become aware of an oppressing sense of mortal sin as I walk through the underground passageways. I can feel haunting spirits everywhere. But according to the emigre file, the power of such resentful spirits are considered the driving force behind reviving the Druid's cryptic experiment. I plan to fill this place with the all-consuming ire of these spirits. Even though I may burn in hell for these sins, if Elaine can be brought back to life, I shall have no regrets. December 5th, 1895. Rain. I found out that the cauldron hidden in the basement held the key to the secret. Even though the book had mentioned it, the well-positioned trick door kept us from locating its whereabouts. The cauldron looks as if it was made of gold. But upon closer examination, the surface is so old that one cannot determine how long it's been in existence. I would guess that it is a prehistoric artifact made a few thousand, or maybe even tens of thousands of years ago, and left to sit. We must quickly set up an altar and begin preparations for the ceremony. December 16th, 1895. Rain. I ordered Ogden to acquire some livestock. 320 chickens and 43 pigs were purchased through a supplier in town. I arranged for ground transportation, but the fog did not help expedite the undertaking. I expect to be busy as soon as the delivery arrives. Animal offerings are an integral part of the Druid experiment. The cauldron must be filled with the freshest blood and flesh. This is where it begins. February 24th, 1896. Rain. The third experiment. Still no response. Even though I follow directions and offer the proper prayers, there are no signs of the spirits gaining any strength. I must return to the book and reread some parts, since I cannot proceed if there has been some misunderstanding of the text. Is there a problem with the way I conducted the experiment, or are the offerings insufficient? Regardless, I need to think this over. Even though I may arrive at a terrifying realization, it is too late to fear anything now. I've come too far to be impeded by fear. I'm sure Ogden will understand. March 19th, 1896. Rain. Returned from London. The specially ordered carriage seems to be working very well. I've trapped 3 women in the baskets and back. I lured some victims out of an alley in the East End, had them sniff some chemicals, and pulled them into the carriage. But, since I was not used to my new role as an abductor, it took more time than I had planned. I could not have done this without Ogden's help. I am deeply grateful to him. March 25th, 1896, rain. I am still at a loss. I cannot make up my mind. Even if I can bring Elaine back to life, are my actions forgivable? I balk when presented with this dilemma. Bessie's been taking care of the women I kidnapped. It's better than them freezing in some corner of London. I hope this small gesture of kindness will be considered as a prior act of repentance. I wonder if my small kindness will have any significance when held up to the horrendous act I'm about to commit. March 31st, 1896, rain. I must make my mind up. I must. April 3rd, 1896, storm. Dear Lord, I have without a doubt committed a crime no human should have committed. I conducted the Druid experiment using the flesh and blood of the victims. I sensed the incredible energy of the spirits culminate into one when I poured the women's remains into the cauldron. As I had thought before, it is human flesh that need to be offered up to fully release the effects of the procedures. What a frightening arcane process this is. The sounds of fury and the women's death screams had not left my ears. But I must go on. There's no turning back now. April 12, 1896, rain. Once again I perform the procedures. I once again round up 4 victims from London. Even though they are all old with barely a thing to live for, when I contemplate taking their lives it makes me sick to my stomach. It may be due to my doubts that the spirits did not rise to such a powerful strength as before. I may have to use a younger, more vibrant source of energy. The book says to fill the cauldron with the energy of haunted spirits. I wonder how many victims the cauldron must swallow to be satisfied. June 5th, 1896, rain. I do not have enough victims. The saintly presence of Daniel Scotus inhibits us from claiming authoritative power. I have concluded that it will be necessary for us to offer many more lives before we're finished here. I have since found 35 more victims for 7 separate experiments, but the spirits have not responded with much strength. For me to accomplish the resurrection, I am in dire need of the culminated strength of the spirits. I must come up with a way. I must come up with a more efficient way to procure my victims. July 15th, 1896, rain. I finally received the first shipment of my victims. Ogden was right when he suggested that we should offer the lord of the slave trade an enormous amount of money for this matter. He has no compassion for human life. The victims are not given much information and arrive at the monastery expecting a routine night's work. It's not necessary for us to go hunting for prey in town. With a few sugar-coated lies, there are plenty of people that climb right into the carriage. There's no one that will dare speak of what has become of them. September 9th, 1896, rain. Poured the remains into the cauldron. The energy levels in the cauldron have clearly increased, which makes me happy since it proves I'm heading in the right direction. It seems that lately I've become more efficient at performing the tasks required for the procedures. However, Ogden and I cannot expect to become much more productive, as it's impossible for us to hire help since we must keep this matter purely clandestine. I've decided to place an order for a laboratory table from an equipment manufacturer in Manchester. It will take about a month to make, but once we receive this, we will be able to manage many more experiments. October 3rd, 1896, rain. Butchered 3 bodies since morning. After lunch, we made repairs to the bell tower of the main church. After dinner with Bessie and Ogden, I butchered 3 more bodies. The lab table has proven its worth. Well, it's clear the guy has lost his humanity at this point. The spirits have certainly increased in strength. At this rate, I may finish preparing for Elaine's resurrection before All Saints' Day. October 14th, 1896, rain. 6 bodies butchered in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, 1 after dinner. November 1st, 1896, rain. How I've been awaiting this day. The day to conduct Elaine's resurrection ceremony has finally arrived. The cauldron is brimming with the remains of my victims. This monastery is now consumed by the energies of the preternatural spirits. Even a saint could not hold his ground against the powerful energy of these hexed spirits. I took Elaine's body, which has been preserved in chemicals for this very day, and placed it on the altar. I then began reciting the ceremonial chant. Elaine, you're still as beautiful as ever. I love you so much. Please forgive me for calling you back from the land of the dead. November 7th, 1896, rain. What's going on? I've lost all hope. All my efforts and dreams have been only an illusion. The tree of life that grew upwards out of the corpse, as if wrapping Elaine's body, was certainly the manifestation of the druid's cryptic experiments that I had been seeking. If God is capable of creating beings out of nothingness, then this indeed is a man-made example of his work. But to my horror, the image my resurrected wife displayed in a flower petal looked just as she did before, yet it lacked a human soul. Indeed, it was a monster. Dear God, is this the punishment you have chosen for me? What have I accomplished by victimizing nearly 200 innocent people? My only hope in life lay in believing that resurrection was possible and dreaming of the day that my wife Elaine would join me here in life on earth once again. Now I have nothing but a cauldron full of blood and hexed spirits and a soulless monster. Is this the end that has been awaiting me? Dear Lord, have you no mercy? I only have one path left to follow. I have lost too much. I cannot even find words to apologize to Ogden, who has lent me his strength along the way. Now I only long to sleep in peace with my wife. Something's not right. I sense boss fight. Once again, I have to give props to the creature designs. 3 flares. That was all it took. You can hardly count the other blows that the other two did. And I just learned a new spell, Reflect. I still find it kind of crazy that permanent save points have to be earned by beating the boss first. With most RPGs, with most RPGs, a save point will be offered before a boss fight. And I can't help but suspect that there's something to that.
So this is Elaine.
Yes. She's the one I had the psychic vision of. Do you doubt it?
No, indeed.
Good. Let's begin.
It has been a long time indeed, Mr. O'Flaherty.
Oh, Elaine, is that really you?
Yes, it is. It is such a pity that we meet again, and I can only present myself to you in this form. This is the woman that responded to my voice, is it not? Thank you for doing this for someone like myself.
Elaine, I haven't yet come to terms. Please tell me how this happened to you.
Of course I will explain. James, 18 years ago, I was murdered by some thieves that broke into my home. I was helpless. Both Patrick and Ogden were out on business. There was nothing that anyone could do.
I will not accept this. This should not have happened.
Yes, Patrick responded the same exact way. He could not accept my death. He spent years and years perfecting his craft in wizardry and tried everything in his power to bring me back to life.
Resurrecting the dead? Is this for real? Hey, we're not talking about Frankenstein here.
Frankenstein?
That novel written about 100 years ago?
He was taking it very seriously. And he had found the key to actually make it happen.
The Immigrate document.
Yes. With Ogden's assistance and the powers from ancient druids, he held a resurrection ceremony in this monastery.
But something went wrong, didn't it?
He only resurrected my physical body. As you can see, my soul is still doomed to roaming the universe, forever separated from my body. And the terrifying thing is that my body was resurrected as a heartless monster,
Monster.
Although the monster may look like me, it is not me. Mr. O'Flaherty, please turn my body into ashes with your power.
Ashes? But if I do that, we won't be able to bring you back to life.
Mr. O'Flaherty, I was robbed of my life by those thieves, and I could hate them as mortal enemies. Choose to think that my death was preordained by the Lord. Please, do not mourn my death. It was wrong for Patrick to try to resurrect me, to undo the work of God. Please, do not be sad. Death is at the heart of God's reasoning. I urge you to destroy my body. Its existence defies the wise providence of heaven. It mustn't exist in this world.
Wait! Elaine! God! Curse! What a cruel world! I gave everything for your happiness, and now what am I left with? I have no meaning in my life. Damn it! What have I been doing with my life? Elaine! Elaine!
Okay. Quite a bit to unpack here. Now, I can't speak for whether resurrection like that is defying the will of God or anything like that. I am not religious. I haven't been connected to religion since I was a teenager. For those wondering why, it was because, well, I moved here. I saw how people were moving. I saw how people were so quick to use their beliefs as an excuse to hurt others. I didn't agree with that. And since too many the people who weren't doing it were actively tolerating people doing it, I couldn't abide by the religion anymore. Okay, so now I'm back here. Look, I'm sure you didn't want a whole religious diatribe, but I really don't talk about myself that often. Let's see, it's been locked from the other side and can't be opened from here. Those doors look like faces, or are they doors? They're not. Yeah, I stand by what I said last time. At this point, Koudelka's magic is so powerful that she could practically beat the whole game by herself. Okay. You see a scroll with a picture of a dragon. Above the dragon, it reads Hestia. If you remember correctly, that means hearth in Greek. There's a fire burning in the hearth. Okay, there must be something else in here. You see a scale. When you step on it, it points to 45 kilos. An empty bottle. Patrick's memo. Okay, what does it say? Note written by Patrick monitoring his weight over a period of several weeks. According to it, Patrick weighed more or less 70 kilos. Oh. Looks like there's something else on the table, but it doesn't seem like I could pick it up. You see your fireplace, there's no fire burning. You remember the word Hestia written on the scroll. Perhaps you should investigate the fireplace. There's an opening beneath the fireplace containing a ladder that goes underground. Do you want to go down the ladder? Not at the moment. It looks like there's another door. Oh, but I can't reach it. So I guess I gotta take this way. It's really the only other way I can go. A black cat? Geyser is the only magic spell that I haven't boosted up at least to level 2. The door won't open. It looks like it's been designed to open using a trick mechanism of some sort. You found a scale with a counterweight attached. By adjusting the counterweight, you can change the balance of the scale. 70 kilos was written on Patrick's memo. Maybe you should adjust the counterweight to that weight. Or maybe it needs to match the person in question. Like for example, it made a point when I checked the scale up there to reveal that she was 45 kilos. It was 45, right? Okay, guys are finally winning up to level 2. Wait, I think I get it. 70 minus the 45 of hers would be 25. There we go. Definitely want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. You have to find a way to dispose of Elaine's body. Maybe you'll be able to find something inside the main building. So it won't let me move on that way until I get this taken care of. Wait, hold on, is that another door? No, it's only one door. Now I found that empty bottle, so that must come into play. Well, it looks like there's something else on the table. Roman nuts. Okay. Okay, it's set back in the main building, so I guess I gotta hike back. Okay, is that another door or is that a window? Okay, that's a window. Obviously, that was set up so I could have an easy access back to the main building. Okay, it says that there's something else that I'm missing here. I could have sworn that the whole interpretation of the map is that checkmark means that you found everything that there is to find in there, while an X means that there's still something missing. Oh, wait a minute. Empty bottle. I now have the means to get whatever I can draw from here. That one spot that had the fountain. Oh, and I just saw what I... Now, did I interpret that correctly? No, it's still showing an X, so... Now, where's the way back to the main building from here? And yes, I haven't ignored the fact that the sword is named after, is named Saknov, which is the company that produced the game. There's a gargoyle inside. Maybe if the three of you work together, you can defeat it. I guess before I try that, might as well save. There is that save point right over here. And I don't mean the temporary save, I mean the water fountain. A pendant. There's one that was a permanent save point. Alright. Yeah, even her magic resistance is so high now that magic attacks don't hurt her. And now I'm reaching the point where I need to start chucking shit again. Okay. Okay, so where's the gargoyle? Okay, it's clear the gargoyle will try to attack her, so keep her defended. Okay, so physical attacks don't hurt. Holy hell. Okay, when do I get my turn? Good thing I saved before entering in here. Okay, so definitely not at a fit state to take on the gargoyle. And considering the fact that they gave me the option to walk away, it probably stands to reason that that's an optional boss or something like that. In any case, I know I can re-enter the building from another route. So I just need to do that. But that'll be for the next time I jump into the game, which won't be for a little while. Next month is September, and it's the football season, so it's time to get back to the Unmaddens. And I think to start off the month, I'm gonna get a little freaky. And that's the only clue I'm gonna give. Anyway, like what I'm doing, give a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Any questions, comments, suggestions for other games to check out? You know I like the niche stuff, so... Hate to say I would ignore something, but if you make any suggestions for Fortnite or something like that, I won't do that. Besides, you could get your fix there somewhere else. Anyway, any suggestions, drop them in the comments below or send them to Twitter right there. Next time, it's football. Which means it's Unmaddens. And whatever I choose to load up, safe to say it'll definitely be better than the recent Madden. Anyway, take care and game on.